Bom dia, Jai Shri Mataji, sejam todos muito bem-vindos à meditação matinal. É sempre uma grande alegria estarmos juntos nesse lindo amanhecer. Aqui é Marinei, eu falo do Coletivo do Espírito Santo. Vamos nos sentar de forma confortável, os dois pés bem apoiados no chão, as mãos abertas sobre o colo e a nossa atenção vai para a nossa respiração. Vamos fazer 3 respirações profundas e pausadas. Vamos lá, inspira, prende, expira completamente. Mais uma vez, inspira, prende, expira, bem devagar. De novo, inspira, prende, expira completamente. Mão direita no lado esquerdo do peito, sobre o coração. Mãe, por favor, abençoe a nossa meditação, nos permitindo entrar em consciência sem pensamentos. Mãe, por favor, venha aos nossos corações. Agora, com total atenção em nossos movimentos, nós vamos elevar a Kundalini e dar os bandhas de proteção. Mão esquerda aberta sobre o colo, mão direita voltada para a Mãe Terra. A atenção vai para o primeiro chakra, Muladhara Chakra. Shri Ganesha, por favor, sustente a nossa Kundalini. Sustente a nossa união com o poder que nos criou. Shri Ganesha, por favor, fortaleça o nosso Muladhara Chakra. Shri Ganesha, por favor, conceda-nos sabedoria, pureza, inocência, senso de castidade, humildade e a eterna alegria de uma criança. Mantra para Shri Ganesha 2 vezes. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Mãe, permita a nossa completa identificação com as qualidades do nosso Muladhara. Agora nós vamos levar a nossa mão direita no lado esquerdo do peito, sobre o coração. Aqui reside o nosso Si, o nosso espírito. Mãe, por tua graça, nós somos o puro Espírito. Nós não somos esse corpo, esse ego, esses condicionamentos. Nós somos o puro Espírito. Mantra para Shri Shiva Parvati, 2 vezes. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Mãe, por vossa graça, nós somos o Espírito. Por favor, Mãe, perdoa-nos por quaisquer erros que tenhamos cometido contra o nosso Espírito. Mãe, por favor, fazei-me um instrumento do vosso amor. Agora nós vamos cantar um mantra para Shri Nirmala Atma Shiva. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirmala Atma Shiva Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Mãe, eu sou o Espírito, apenas o Espírito. Não sou este ego, não sou este corpo, não sou esta emoção, não sou essa dor. Apenas o Espírito eu sou. Apenas o Espírito eu sou. Mãe, por favor, purifique os nossos corações e permita que uma personalidade espiritual se manifeste em nós. Mãe, eu sou o ser, a consciência e a felicidade eterna. Eu sou Shiva, eu sou Shiva. Mãe, por favor, faça dos nossos corações a sua morada. Agora nós vamos levar a nossa mão direita na nossa testa, sobre o nosso Agni. Mãe, por tua graça, nós perdoamos a tudo e a todos, inclusive a nós mesmos. Vamos inclinar um pouquinho a cabeça para frente, de forma humilde, como se nós fôssemos olhar os nossos corações. Senhor Jesus, por favor, abra essa portinha estreita, que é o nosso Agni, para que a nossa mãe, a Kundalini, possa nos levar até o Sahasrara. Mãe, eu perdoo, eu perdoo, eu perdoo. Agora vamos levar nossa atenção até o topo da cabeça, em nosso Sahasrara. Vamos massagear o nosso Sahasrara com a palma da nossa mão, os dedos bem abertos, fazendo uma suave pressão em nosso coração. Vamos girar bem o couro cabeludo na nossa antiga moleira, com atenção em nosso coração e em nosso Sahasrara. Podemos descansar as nossas mãos sobre o colo, mantendo a atenção em nosso coração e no topo da nossa cabeça, lá em nosso Sahasrara. Mãe, conceda-nos sabedoria para compreender a mensagem contida em sua palestra. com total atenção em nosso Sahasrara, nós vamos ouvir a palestra de Shri Mataji dessa manhã.
If you are becoming the pure spirit, then you are detached because you are just a reflection. You are the reflection of God Almighty. All these identifications drop out. Now, one may say, how to drop it out? I've never dropped them, but still I can suggest certain things which can come. First is meditation. You should discover about yourself what's wrong with you. Which side is catching? Is it right or left side? With meditation you can find out. Are you attached to money? Are you attached to business? Are you attached to your family? Are you attached to your country in a way which is not such? Or to your culture which is not such? Then try to get rid of this attachment by meditation. You know how to get rid of the right and the left. This attachment will show on your fingertips. And you have to see for yourself what centers you are catching, in which way are you in trouble. And then you can clarify it very simply by taking a very simple search treatment. I think here we fail that once we get attached to something, we don't even think we are getting attached. We think we are doing very great thing because now we love this person, love that person. Shiva's qualities. The compassion part. You start getting attached to people. That is no compassion. That is no compassion of any kind to be attached to any such things. Is no compassion in you. You cannot have compassion of Shiva. Though people think it is the Shiva's compassion that is working within us. Not. Because that compassion is very pure. It is like, as I have told you many times, it's like the sap in the tree, which rises and goes to various parts of the tree, and then either it evaporates or goes down into Mother Earth. It's not attached. If it gets attached to one flower or to one leaf or to one fruit, then the whole tree will suffer and also the flower will disappear. So this kind of attachment to a particular thing, to a particular idea, is not proper. Inside yoga, I have found people are very adaptable and understand what they should do. But the main thing is meditation. In meditating on your heart, on the Shiva Tattva, principle of Shiva, you can definitely detach, and then the joy will be the maximum. Joy will be the maximum. I've seen people have interest in, say, food, or in clothes, or in house, anything. You can have interest. You should have interest. But in that interest, there should be enlightenment that you cannot get attached. Some people say, who are, say, from South India, they don't like North Indian food. Those who are from North India don't like South India. It's a big problem. I asked the people in Indian Airlines, why don't you have some standard food? He said, what is the standard food of India? Tell me. It was a question. Indians are very particular about the taste and food. So it's a fact, we don't have any standard food in India. But in the same way, we can say in so many other ways that in the West, people run after things which are not necessary. They do things just out of fashion, or I don't know, because their personality is not grown up. If your personality is grown up, then you see everything from an angle which is much higher than others, and you don't get dissolved with others. What you know is much higher, much greater, and much more joy giving. Now, these attachments, people think that is very joy giving. If you get a child, and if you have, say, a wife, everything are joy giving. It's a very wrong idea. The joy comes from your own source of your spirit. Whether your husband is good, whether your children are good or bad, whatever they cannot give you joy. It's only you can enjoy yourself. And this is why one becomes very forgiving. When nobody can harm you, then whom are you going to be angry with? That is another great quality of Sadashiva, is that he is extremely forgiving. He goes up to a point till he destroys the whole work of Adishakti. But otherwise, he is very, very forgiving. And he also is very balanced about it. Once the Adishakti got very angry with the whole world was so decadent and all that, and she started destroying everything. So he put a little child under her feet, and such a big tongue came out with such a shock, she stopped her destruction. So his ways are such that a person who is to develop the Shiva principle within himself should be extremely forgiving. I know there are people who are very cruel, who are very torturesome. If you cannot bear it, all right, finish it off. I'll stand by you there. But if you can bear it, it's better to bear and undergo this experience of bearing it, because it's not difficult to bear than to get out of it. For example, a lady came to me and she said, I'm going to divorce my husband. I said, why? Because he comes home very late and I get very little of him. But I said, when you divorce, you will not get him at all. What's the logic? At least now you see him, whatever it is, whatever the time is there. But this is no solution. If you divorce him, you'll never see him. So what's the use of such a divorce? So many things like that can be understood once you are a detached person, that you are not to be attached to anything. Now, who can aggress you if you are not attached to anyone? Nobody can. Only thing, when you feel that you have to protest, you should, but with detachment. In protest also is important to absolutely to have a complete detachment. Now the main problem before us today is something else, is that we all have to ascend. And ascend with the equal strength. It's a story about some birds who were caught in a net. So they decided that we should get out of this net. And they tried. Everybody tried to get out. But nobody individually could work it out. So they all decided to fly together, 1, 2, 3, and go. And they took all that net with them, and they said, and they requested the rats that please come and cut our net, and they were freed. So if it can happen between the rats and the birds, why not between us? So in collectivity, we'll be amazed in the collectivity how we could be helpful and joyous with each other. Now say something is wrong. If your mother, father, sister, somebody, doesn't matter. After all, you have the ocean of joy here with the collectivity. And your problems can be solved if collectively, if you want to solve your problem. So we have to depend on the collectivity. Very much to be one with the collective. I feel once you jump into the sea of Sahaj, the joy itself draws you together. Meeting each other is such a joyous. We have had so many experiences of that, of Sahajogis who have told me how happy they were to find Sahajogis somewhere out of the blue and how they felt happy. So this tie between the Sahajogis is really the most joyous channel. And that is what is the source, we should say, of our becoming one together. Once you start enjoying each other. I have told you once a story of a great poet in India whose name was Namadeva, who was a tailor. There was another one who was a potter. Sometimes I miss out in English words. This potter was another poet, and he was called as Gorakumar. So when Namadeva went to meet him, a saint only feels like meeting a saint, looked at him and he just stood back. Then he said a beautiful couplet. He says that I came here to see the formless Chaitanya, but here the Chaitanya is in the form. Nirgunacha bheti alo sagunacha. I came to see the formless, see the vibrations. But here it is in the form that I see. Only a saint can say this to another saint. This kind of appreciation, this subtle appreciation is only possible between the two saints or between the many. They don't see he was kneading the clay. He was wearing a dirty dhoti doing that work. He never saw all these things. He never saw his body, face or anything. But he saw that the divinity personified it. This sensitivity of feeling for others, yogis, should really develop within you. Then you won't care for nonsensical, superficial things. And this is one of the great principles of Shiva. He doesn't bother. You see, his hair are all matted up. He sits on a fast-moving bull with both the legs like that, going for his wedding. Can you imagine? And all his friends, all his followers are somebody has only one eye, another has only one hand, one is bent like that. Because for him, the outside personality doesn't matter. What matters is the spirituality.
Amada Mãe Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, que nesse dia eu possa ser o que eu deveria de ser, que eu possa dizer o que eu deveria dizer, que os meus pensamentos sejam os pensamentos de uma alma realizada, que nesse dia eu possa ter amor por toda a humanidade. Shri Mãe, por favor, fique em nossa atenção, em nosso coração e em nosso Sahasrara. A nossa meditação está chegando ao fim. Nós podemos elevar a nossa Kundalini e dar os bandhas de proteção. Com as duas mãos unidas na altura do coração, podemos fazer um namastê e os nossos agradecimentos. Muito obrigada, Mãe, pela Sahaja Yoga, pela nossa realização do Si e por todas as bênçãos que recebemos diariamente. O Deus que reside em meu coração, saúda o Deus que reside no coração de cada um de vocês. Namastê. Eu desejo a todos um excelente dia, regado com muita paz interior e muitas vibrações divinas. Muito bom dia. Jai Shri Mataji.